Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review for you for the latest Disney Plus original, Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio. This of course is the live-action remake of the 1940 animated Disney film, a film that I look at with much praise. I think it's one of my favorite Disney or just animated films of all time. The film stars Tom Hanks, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, Keegan-Michael Key, Luke Evans, and Cynthia Erivo, and tells the story of Pinocchio. I'm not opposed to the idea of the Disney live-action remake, but I do think when Disney makes a misstep, like something with Dumbo or The Lion King, it's because they're either so afraid to touch it, or they just have a fundamental lack of knowledge on what this story is actually about. And Pinocchio is both those things. This is a lifeless reimagining that lacks any imagination. This film is the clearest example of the difference between a film and an attraction. A film tells a story, it has themes, there's something artful to the way it expresses itself. An attraction doesn't need those things. An attraction is more just reminding you of what you love in the most streamlined way possible. When you go into a Disney park and you're on the Pinocchio ride, for example, they don't really have to have a semblance of why this follows this or what's going on here. They're just in the most quick ways trying to remind you of the experience of watching the movie. These attractions operate on the cliches of the cliches, the clearest way to represent the movie-going experience in this format. And it works. I enjoy that ride. I enjoy Disney parks because Disney parks is all about atmosphere, and attractions are about atmosphere. And if I'm talking about Pinocchio, the 2022 remake, it does have an atmosphere. I definitely enjoyed the charm of the environment of this movie. And I do think there are certain elements that do work for it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Jiminy Cricket, I think, is pretty good. I enjoyed his performance. It's definitely a little uncanny valley as you try to hear Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that voice, but I think he works well within the film. As for the rest of the actors, though, I think, and even Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they're all directed to be at like a 27 the entire time. And it just gets so exhausting, not only because their performances never come more down to a level place, except for Cynthia Erivo. She's only in it for like 4 minutes. Especially Tom Hanks and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth are so at a high the entire time that it's not just that they don't feel like normal people talking, but nothing really then impacts you. It just feels so theatrical. It feels so forced. And this is where I think the attraction comparison comes into play. When you're watching Geppetto and Pinocchio on a ride deliver some of these classic lines, it's fine because you're at a theme park. The whole thing should be at a high level. I don't want to go to a mundane theme park. But when you're in a film, you definitely need moments of levity. You need moments of solace. You need moments of despair so that there's a tonal balance, an emotional range of the characters. And that way you can get a firmer sense of why certain moments matter more than others. That's not here because they're really just not directed to do such. Zemeckis is really asleep at the helm here. There are so many moments where you're expecting a directorial force to come together as all of these elements are grasping for cohesion, and he never does it. And from there, I just get this sense that he doesn't understand what the story of Pinocchio is about, or he has such trust in his audience that they already are coming into this screening having seen the original, that he just doesn't feel compelled or he doesn't care enough to actually do the work to set up the story originally here. Pinocchio is a story about understanding the darkness of maturation as you grow up, getting a firmer sense of what the real world is without any protection or barriers placed in front of you. It's a very dark story, but that holds a sort of innocence because Pinocchio as a character is struggling with trying to retain his childhood self while the rest of the world is changing around him. It's a very profound, powerful piece of animation that this movie does not get because it doesn't allow Pinocchio to be a real character, let alone a real boy. He doesn't have any wants. He doesn't fail. He doesn't have any shortcomings. He just seems like a perfect child that is more just a host that the audience can latch onto and be our guide throughout this entire realm of this movie. But if he's not learning anything and he's not going on a journey, then why should we tell the story in the first place? It's such a baffling choice to take away all of the character's faults, because then it means that he's not actually trying to achieve anything. He is the same character at the beginning that he is at the end of this film, and not only just that feels so pointless, but when the original Pinocchio went on such a important, vivid journey, you just look at this in comparison and you're like, how did you miss this? This is a commodified reminder of a past work of brilliance that is no longer brilliant in the present. What was a story about the darkness of maturation and the importance of choice ends up becoming a film that is deeply afraid to make any. So that's my review of Pinocchio. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the film if you ended up seeing it on Disney+. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to not miss any new videos from Spoilers Ahead with Anthony Post. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you at the movies.